night, Lens. Oh, you're still fuzzy.
I can't tell you how many settings I messed with, Marley. I can't.
Can you hit default?
What?
How about like default? Is there a default?
Yeah, I restored factory settings. Wait, I wasn't logged in yesterday to StreamYard, and I am today. I'm going to be really mad if this is it.
What?
Hang on a second.
Hi! You're there! What'd you do?
I went from low definition to high definition.
That's awesome.
I'm doing great.
Coming at you 4K, baby.
Oh no, it went from like 360 to 720. Like,
oh, nice.
It's not even the highest level.
That is hilarious.
Well,
hey, nice to have you back.
At least I know it's not my camera, because I was like, is Elgato having a sale?
That is funny. That is so. Hold on. What? Yes, I'm on a live. Nope. Alora says I thought you fell. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Funny story about falling.
Yes.
So today I'm doing admin stuff this morning before I went to the, before I started cutting fabric, and Jenny, Kate, and I have like a group chat where we're always like sending each other like funny memes and like book stuff and things like that. So because like it's annoying because like I'm gonna tell both Kate and Jenny, so like don't make me type twice.
Totally understand.
And Kate sends us a video, and I'm like, oh, another reel, right? Because she's got my sense of humor, so I'm thrilled. And I'm watching it, and I was like, wow, that person looks a lot like Kate. That's crazy, right? And like it's a Ring doorbell camera, so like it's round, right? And you see this person like walk out and like very cautiously go down the steps and then just wipe out and go. Earmuffs. Son of a bitch. Oh. But the best part, here's the thing. The best part of the video is that she immediately stands up, walks back to the door, and you see her open like the storm door, and she goes, well, that decides that. Like, well, I'm done with the outdoors. And I was like, oh my God, Kate, are you? And then I realized it is Kate.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? But also, this is how I feel about the outside today.
That is hilarious.
She's like, well, that's enough of that. And I was like,
oh God.
Amazing.
That is like, so funny.
No. And she is okay. She is okay.
That's good.
But
That's
like
good.
no notes. No notes.
So Kaden was home this weekend, well, yesterday with Emily. And we were okay, we are late night. So I just want to put this as a disclaimer. This is an adult conversation tonight because I am going there. I just need to have this. I need to throw this out there.
Okay.
So if you're uncomfortable, not you, Lindsay, I know you are. if you're uncomfortable at all with anything, like I love you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. But it's late night. This is where we are.
Yeah,
you know, it is past
Marley and Lindsay.
Yeah, we're just good. Okay, so kids are all home. This is the funniest. So we're sitting around the table and we're eating dinner. And I don't know, this sounds ridiculous now that I say it out loud. I tell John that I got a dick pic. You were on the phone with me.
Yeah.
So guys, so if you don't know this, I did not have Facebook Messenger for the Marley Bird page. Like the Marley Bird brand does not have Facebook Messenger. Honestly, it's because there are too many places that you could try and get in touch with me, and I can't keep up. So I have to keep just one solitary. That's why it's contact@Marley Bird, support@Marley Bird, or Marley@Marley Bird, right? That's what they are. But now that I have ManyChat, I have to have a messenger in order to do the whole say me and I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
So I have Messenger, but I still don't use it. You guys have probably clicked on it before and you've seen that I'm like, hey, I don't regularly check this.
Yeah.
Contact this, blah, blah, blah. So yesterday, I don't remember.
It was yesterday.
I was on the phone.
Like after the live, you went to have lunch.
It was after the live.
And then I came and I was like, we got to talk about besties, and we got back on the phone.
Yes. So I was looking through the many chat just to make sure everybody got their links and stuff. And this one person, all it had was some emojis. And I was like, oh, and it was like a thumbs up emoji or something, you know, nothing graphic. And I was like, oh, they must need something. So I click on it, full on schlong. Like it is, there we are. I was like, oh my God.
I see her face go, oh, and I'm like, what happened? Are you okay? And she's like, there's a dick pic on my Facebook. I was like, ow! What?
I know.
What is happening?
It was on my messenger, and it was in my mini chat, which is through my messenger. I've never gotten a dick pic in my life. Not that I'm like wanting one, but I'm just saying I've never gotten one before, right? So I'm telling John this at dinner. That's the part that sounds funny. To which Josiah was talking about how his roommate has a 3D printer, and they decided they were going to make little penis whistles. And he goes, did you know that they made those, Mom? And I said, yeah, people will use them for like bachelorette parties and stuff. He goes, yeah, but you know, I have an idea. And I said, what? He goes, I want to make a dick beer bong. And I go, what? He goes, you know, a big old dick beer bong. We are going back and forth, like all sorts of names. Like we're just like, the motto should be like, how much can you take? Take it, bitch. Say my name. Like, we're having the best time, right? And we're just, now y'all are going to think about it. All of you are going to be like, what should the motto be? And it's just, you know, so we're just laughing hysterically. Caden and Emily are upstairs, and they came down, and Caden goes, you know, Mom, my whole life, if I have ever like lost you in a store, all I have to do is wait and just listen to you laugh, because I'll find you, because I'm just laughing hysterically, right? And I was like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And so he's like, what are you guys talking about? So we tell him, and he's like, oh, that is kind of a good idea. Joey goes, yeah, we can have a mini dick, a medium dick, and a Moby. And I go, a Moby? He goes, yeah, a Moby dick. And I said, oh, you could call it the
Oh, gnarly.
Oh my God. I was dying. I was dying. We were just like all over the place. To which I told them about the Facebook post that I got where the lady asked me about making a special cozy for her man's junk. And because I put
he's an outdoorsman in the winter in a very cold climate.
So the funny thing about that is she had asked it like the day before. She had asked it.
Okay. Do you see my husband's comment?
Okay. So so the comment had come in, and I'm gonna go find it so I read it appropriately, okay? Because if you guys if you're not already part of the Marley's Minions group, you really should. And it was wonderful, and it was a genuine question. It wasn't out of line or anything like that. You know, I was like, okay. So the question came in, and all of the moderators, I mean, they were dying. They were like, what do we do? Like, we're letting Marley handle that. Like, Marley's handling that. I'm like, yeah, let Marley handle the dick comment. So, clearly that's my expertise. So it came in. And so I'm on the phone with Robin yesterday morning, and she's like, she goes, you have to go answer the pending post. And I go, what pending post? She goes, just go look. You know, I was like, I'm like, oh, okay. And she goes, you have to answer that. I'm like, damn right I do. So I click post. And I was like, what am I gonna do? So I thought about it, and then I was like, okay, I want I want to suggest wool, and I want to suggest silk, but I want to give the reasons why. And I'm trying to think through the reasons why. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to ask ChatGPT to give me like the qualities of these things.
Yeah.
So, so I wrote, here's the question. So I know that Marley is a spicy girl, and I feel safe here asking this without judgment. 100%. I mean, no judgment whatsoever, honestly. For years, I have joked about making a cozy for my husband to wear when he goes winter camping. First off, side note, who the hell goes winter camping? Like,
apparently her husband.
Apparently her husband.
I have a whole story about camping in a second. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. What would be a good yarn choice for such an intimate item? I'm thinking about needing it for a stocking stuffer. No pun intended, right? And so
I didn't see that part of it.
No, I added that part. So that's funny. So I write, sorry. I write, honestly, you want a yarn that's moisture wicking and soft so his balls don't itch. John.
Wait. Stop.
That was
Angie. Coming in clutch.
Hold on. What now? What?
Hold
Hold
on.
on. I've got too many things popping up.
Hang on.
In my face over here. I made a winter warmer for my brother-in-law because he asked me to. I specifically asked for hairs on the balls. Nice. Speaking of balls, with the dick beer bong, we talked about how there could be balls that slap you in the face the whole time you're.
You just did
Oh my god. We were dying. It's so funny.
Oh my god.
Okay, I gotta go back. Okay, I can't see you when I'm reading this.
Okay.
You know, why am I not just sharing it? I could just share screen.
There you go.
So I didn't even think about that.
I'm smarter.
My head's all about the dicks right now. So I get okay. So it says, John is not a hunter or camper, so I don't think he has need of this, but I wondered about making one just for fun, to be real, like honestly, God. And here are my thoughts. That's why I had already thought about wool and silk before. So I was like, wool is the best quality for such an item. And I'm like, why? So wool is moisture wicking. It can absorb up to 30% of its weight in water without feeling wet. Wool's interior draws moisture away from the skin while the outer layer repels water. And it's insulating. It's naturally insulating and absorbs water to reduce coolness. It's fire resistant. It will burn well because it retains some air moisture, even wool that's old. So great for those of you or those who have a lot of heat between their loins. It's durable. Wool is strong and durable, making it ideal for clothing and textiles that are subject to wear and tear. Definitely something you want for a man who's going to be walking and have his legs rubbing against the fabric all day. It's stain resistant. Wool's waxy outer coating repels liquids, so spills are easy to wipe off. I don't think I need to add anything more here. Like, that's self-explanatory. It's also hyperallergenic, and it's unlikely to cause an allergic reaction in most people, but it's best to test it on the recipient because before actually wearing it for a long time. Maybe if they're allergic to wool or they find wool itchy, they could add silk, right? Do a silk lining. Why silk, you ask? Like, why not bamboo? Well, you could totally use bamboo, right? But silk, I was like, you know, if it's if it's going to be for his, you know, a cup cozy for his balls, he's worth silk, right? He's worth it. Silk has a smooth, lustrous texture that's not slippery in some synthetic fibers. I'm going to just keep going. Silk is temperature regulating. It's strong. It's hyperallergenic. It's absorbent. It's breathable. It's durable. It's biodegradable. And it's easy to care for. Silk is easy to care for and can be passed down through generations. I know it's not a real definitive answer, but hopefully this will help you make your man a willy warmer that he will cherish and want to show all of his friends. Wait, did I just say that? So the best part here, Lindsay, this is...
What did Penny Reed say?
She said, what about bamboo? Honestly curious. It's antibacterial properties as well, and it's often as soft as silk. Well, I just told you why. For me, I was like, I did think of bamboo, but I figured it's going against her husband's gonads. He deserves only the best. So I suggested silk. And then side note, I think this conversation
that is totally a conversation.
Totally happened between Cletus and Jethro or Cletus and Ashley. Absolutely would. Anyways, I guess yesterday was all about the dick and balls and all the things. So apparently, you guys, I'm gonna stop sharing. So apparently, the dick beer bong has been made. It's already been done. So wah.
Well, I mean,
they're not gonna be millionaires.
Frat boys exist in the world.
Joey was very excited. He was gonna go to trade shows for the sex industry. He's like, there's money there. And I was like, oh my God. We were dying. We were laughing so hard. It was seriously one of the funniest conversations I've had with my adult kids. It was so funny. Anyways, all right. Okay, camping.
Okay, so camping. So last night, all I also want to say is that I have peopled all my peopling.
You've peopled all your peopling.
I'm peopled out.
I understand this.
So yesterday, we were at Dave's installation at the lodge. And normally, like, again, I know these men by name, but I don't know them by sight because, like, I don't go because it's not my thing. And, like, I walked in and Dave immediately starts, like, helping in the kitchen because it's his last time to do that. And so, like, I'm just standing to the side because I don't want to be in anybody's way and whatever. And then, like, a couple of people come up and are like, oh, are you? And Dave's like, oh, this is my wife, Lindsay, da, 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 right? Mm-hmm. And like, it slowly fills up. There's like 20 people. It's not like a ton of people, but it's nice. And there's this couple that I keep seeing, like, that's sitting down and they're kind of by themselves. And I was like, oh, I have no clue who this person is. Like, I kind of know who Zach is. Like, I've seen pictures of him. Like, I kind of know other people, but I have no clue who these humans are. And my husband comes up and he's like, oh, have you met Dave? And I'm like, because this is the funny part. So my husband is Dave Martin. There is another David Martin at his lodge.
Really?
Yes. And so, like, to be fair, they're both like very much in like the dad joke situation. Whenever they go to another lodge, they sit beside each other to confuse people.
Oh, that's, well, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And so he's like, oh, have you met Dave? I'm like, no, I haven't met Dave. He's like, oh, well, he hasn't, like, he's applying to join the lodge like in January. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Is that his wife? And he's like, yeah. Do you want an introduction? I was like, yeah, they don't know anybody. I don't know anybody. Let's hang out. Right. So I go over. Turns out his wife is Katie. Apparently I'm collecting Jennifer's and Katie's. There we go. Katie sews Renaissance costumes.
Ooh.
Like legit, like boning corsets, hand embroidered silks.
Oh, wow.
Like, so we're talking shop.
Like cod pieces and all the things.
The whole thing. Yes.
All the things.
All the things. Like full regalia at the Ren Fair, her husband.
Got it.
And her husband, here's the crazy part. I was like, oh, for a while I kind of was a carny because like we were on the yarn trade show circuit and they're like, oh my God, you were in the car. I'm no. Like, I'm not like an acrobat. No.
Yeah.
I was like, it was yarn. I said, but I have these. So I have a lot of weird friends like all over the country because trade shows. And I was like, all right. And I said, so I have these friends. I don't know how we got there. I was like, they own this company called the Buffalo Wool Company. And he goes, they're my favorite socks.
No way.
And I was like, oh yeah, I know Ron and Tracy. He's like, you know Ron? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to not know.
In the same house with him.
I'm like, I've shared a bed with his wife.
Yeah.
Because hotels are expensive.
Yes.
And so I was telling about Ron and like all that stuff. And then he was like, man, I got to get me, because I was like, well, do you have the extreme gear ones? And he's like, what is that? And I was like, they're like the darker color. He's like, how do you know? I'm like, okay, do your socks have a different color toe and heel? And he's like, yes. I said, is the bison that's embroidered on your socks brown or orange? And he was like, brown. I said, you have the silk ones. And he was like, how do you know that? I was like, years of experience.
Yes.
And I was like, but if you want the warmer ones, if you want to go like fly fishing, you want to get the dark brown ones because those are ones they wear at the Iditarod. And he was like, oh, okay. And he was like, he turns to his wife. He's like, we should go camping. And I was like, he's like, you guys should come with us. And I was like,
hard
oh
pass.
no.
Hard pass. Hard pass.
I was like, I'm an indoor cat.
This is not the droid you're looking for.
And I was like,
I'm an indoor cat.
I'm an indoor cat. I said, my idea of camping is a Holiday Inn overlooking a forest.
Yes. Yes.
And he goes, oh, I think you misunderstand. Would you do it in like a fifth wheel? I'm like, is there a bed? And he was like, yes. I said, is there heating and air conditioning? He said, yes. I said, is there a toilet inside? And he goes, yes. I said, sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because that's not camping. That's just sleeping in a different facility.
Yes.
That's fine.
That's
not camping. And his wife goes, oh, yeah, we only stay in the one that has the pull-out drawer for the dog food and bowls. And I was like, you are my people.
Yes.
So he was like, so you don't like the outdoors? And I was like, no. He was like, he's like, why is that? I was like, because it's outside.
Yeah. I was like, I did that once. It did not stick.
I did. I can't. Have I ever told you this story?
I don't know.
Okay.
I've been camping a couple times and I've hated it every time.
So when I graduated high school, our youth pastors' parents had built like a cabin for their family in Montana.
Okay. And
as the senior trip for the graduating seniors of the youth group, you could go and Luann would cook for you, and we all got to stay in the cabin and hung out together because like we're all going to go our separate ways. It was beautiful. It was great. They take us camping, horseback riding, like all the things. Marley Bird, that was the moment in my life I realized I am an indoor cat. Okay, like everybody was like, "This is going to be great," and I'm like, So the first thing we do is we go horseback riding, which I thought would be lovely.
I actually like horseback riding.
I used to.
Oh, what happened?
So like they're putting us on horses that are like good. That the saddle is right for your like height and build and all that stuff because that's the thing, right? One of my friends gets a horse named Pokey. I have a friend who gets a horse named Buttercup.
Okay.
I have another friend who's riding a horse named Tulip. Would you like to know what my horse is named?
Was it Diablo?
Is it Whiplash?
If there was a stripper name to have, that's the one.
And then, are you ready for this? They put me on this massive animal, right? And this horse is like, F you. The whole time.
Oh my God. Oh.
And like, everyone's trying to help me. They're like, push your heels. I'm like, I'm doing that. I am miserable.
Oh my God.
And like at one point, there's like a teeny tiny stream. Like as a 5-foot person, I could have just taken a step over it. This is a freaking horse. This horse is massive.
Oh God.
And the horse is like, right? And then decides to jump the flipping stream. It's like this, right? So I get like, I'm not prepared for that. I don't know how to jump a horse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an indoor cat. And so it knocks me back and I land hard on that back hard edge of a saddle.
Oh.
Yeah. It hurt so bad.
Oh.
So then like we continue on. So like I'm already really uncomfortable and the horse is really like we're not vibing. We're not having the vibes. And then we cross a river, like where you are wet when you get out because the horse it's that deep. We cross a river. And then like we turn a corner and then my horse is like, oh, this is the home stretch and just takes off. Full gallop. Okay.
This is the best story. Oh God. Oh.
And when I tell you that the trail boss was having a hard time catching me, and he's like screaming, pull back on the reins! And I'm like, I'm leaning backwards. I mean, like, I'm putting I'm almost laying down trying to get this horse to stop. And it's like, nah, dinner's over there. And like, he finally catches up to me, and he gets the horse to slow down because, like, of course, that's the person he responds to. And he's like, why didn't you pull back on the reins? And I was like, I will murder you with my hands. I will murder you with my hands right now. And I was like, I'm getting off of this thing. And he's like, no, you can't. I was like, watch me.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, no, it's not safe. I'm like, what's not safe? He's like, the horse could kick you. I was like, were you not here for that? And he's like, I just don't know what your problem is. I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm riding a horse named Whiplash.
Oh my God. Oh, that's hilarious.
And so we get back, and he's like, did you have a good time? And I just looked at him and I went, do you really want me to answer that?
Right.
And he was like, well, and I was like, no.
Oh gosh.
So then like I go sit with my youth pastor's wife. She was pregnant at the time, so she couldn't go with us. So we get in the van and we head back to the lodge. And we're all like chilling, and I'm like, oh my God, I am so sore. Like everything hurt. And they had a hot tub. So I was like, y'all, I'm gonna get in the hot tub. And so a couple of my friends were like, oh, I will too. And of course, like there were, dudes who can just like whatever. So like, and their room is closer down there. So like I go and get changed, and I go to get in there, and like I step down into it, and the insides of my thighs are black and blue.
Oh my God.
And I don't mean like, oh, I'm a little bruised. I'm talking like from my sits bones almost to my knees is just black. And my friend at the time, he's actually, like, this is going to sound insane. He was like this 6'5" kung fu artist, but he looked like a hippie. Like he had long curly hair, and he looked like a hippie, and he had ninja stars in his shoes. It was the weirdest thing. But he was like, what happened to you? I was like, we just got done riding horses. And he was like, sweetheart, nobody else's legs look like yours. I'm like, yeah, well, nobody else had to ride Whiplash. It's true.
Oh my God. That it's funny things like that. So I'm assuming you've never been on a horse since.
No.
Okay. So
I've done that.
Right. So for me, it was my freshman year of high school. All right. First off, if y'all don't know, I don't like fish. And I don't mean I don't like fish like to eat, which they're okay. I don't mind them. But I don't like fish. I don't like fishing. I don't like being in a pond. I don't like being in the ocean. I don't like fish.
Look, I'm not going anywhere where I'm not the apex predator. The ocean and me are out. We are not friends.
I'm actually scared of fish. Like, I'm scared of fish. Everybody's like, no, I don't care. I don't care. I'm scared
of fish. Spiders. Who cares?
Yeah. I have gone in the ocean. I've had moments. I'll tell you those some other time, but I don't like them.
That's fine.
I really, really don't like lakes.
I don't like lakes.
You can't see. So in high school and going into college, my mom and dad had a boat that we all would go to Lake Powell, right? We go to Lake Powell all the time. And we would go there and try and my dad always wanted us to water ski. I did not want to water ski because I had to get in the water, but I wouldn't mind like jet skiing and all that stuff, right? But I would never ride duo on a jet ski or a wave runner. Why, you ask? Freshman year in high school, my best friend Stacy's grandparents had a house down at Lake of the Ozarks, right? Her parents live there now. And I was coming back to visit her from Colorado. She lives in Kansas because I grew up in Kansas. It's a long story. Anyways, I was back to visit her from Colorado, and we were going down to Lake of the Ozarks to stay at her grandparents' house with all of the family.
Yeah.
So aunts, uncles, cousins, all the things, right? And she had these two cousins. One was like a year younger, and one's like a year older, these boys. And I was very excited to meet them. I was like, I have heard so much about them. Like, they're cute. I want to go meet them, right?
Yeah.
So we're there. They're nice. They were nice to me. Everything was great. And Stacy's like, we need to go in the lake. I'm like, well, don't puss out, Marley. Like, I'm just like, you gotta go in the lake, you know? By now, I'm not Marley at that point. I'm still Marlena. And I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, I really don't want to swim in the lake. Is there anything else we could do? They're like, yeah, we can go on these wave runners. Great. I don't know how to ride a wave runner. No problem. You can ride behind me. Awesome. In my swimsuit, have my life jacket on. Stacy's in hers, you know. So we're behind the boys.
Okay. Yeah.
Hanging on to the boys as they're riding, right? Brace yourself, ladies. We're going, having a good time, right? He's taking the waves. We're jumping. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this is fun. And in my mind, I'm thinking, God damn, my labia is just getting pounded, right? Because it's just every time you're just hitting, okay? Then he decides he's going to like turn. So where the back end spins, my body slips off the seat. Not all my body. Part of it stays. The other part goes. And I rip right up. Like an episiotomy. You can't say anything, right? Because it's this.
Oh no, I think I probably would have.
No, I was like, oh, I'm really hurt. I think I should go back. Oh, where are you hurt? Where are you hurt? I just don't feel good. I gotta go back. Oh my God. So to this day, I will never ride behind somebody on a jet ski, a water vessel of anything, or a motorcycle. If I'm not in control of it, I don't want to be on it. I don't want to be on it.
I'm going to tell you right now, after hearing that story,
same. It was, never in a million years did I think anything like that could happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was awful. And I was like, I'm never going in a lake again. I'm never doing this. I'm never doing this again. Oh my gosh. I hated it so very much. So to this day, I just, I just don't like it.
After we went horseback riding, 2 days later, we went camping.
Yuck.
In Montana.
Yuck.
In June, which I thought, June, that's summertime. I did not have a sleeping bag that was rated for Montana in June and summertime because at the time, as a person who's never camped before, I didn't know that was a thing you had to like look at. I didn't know. I thought like all sleeping bags were the same. So I literally froze all night because we woke up to 2.5 inches of snow and moose.
Oh my God.
So we were just trapped in our tents for an extra 3 hours. Freezing. It was great.
Oh my gosh.
And then we hiked back down and I was like, you know what? That's the first and last time I will ever go camping. I'm not sleeping on the ground. I'm not pooping in a hole. I'm out.
When when Joe broke up with me, I was engaged to a guy named Joe, in college. We dated and were engaged for 2 years, and then we broke up. Very traumatic. You know, you like have this whole idea that you're going to spend your life with this person, and then all of a sudden it's gone. And it's not gone because there's a death, but the relationship is a death, right? You're just like, absolutely. I've never been so sad in my whole life. Like my whole life. And I remember looking at my dad and I was like, because he just was like, you're going to be fine. You know, because he never liked Joe anyways. And he was like, you're going to be fine. You need to stop crying, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Dad, I am not okay. And it's okay that I'm not okay. But I need to be okay to not be okay. My best friends, Tara, Janine, Adrian, and Diane, were like, we're going to go camping. We're going to get you out of town. Just get you to go camping, right? To get your brain off of things. So I couldn't sleep, guys. I was a mess. Anybody who's broken up with anybody, you can imagine. I mean, it's not, I'm not talking like a little flame. Like I was going to marry this dude.
Yeah.
Like I am a mess. So in all their wisdom, they're like, we're going to go camping. Cause Janine loves camping, So she has all the shit. And I'm like, fine, we'll go camping. So we go up camping. We're at like a KOA. So it's camping, but it's at a KOA. Yeah. So there's an outdoor bathroom, but it's far away. You have to take a flashlight.
Sure.
Like it just was not great, right? whatever. And so we're there, and I'm trying really hard to just keep my mind off of everything. We go on a hike. They're trying to talk about everything else. And then Tara was dating some guy. She kept trying to call him on the phone, and she kept saying, "Can you hear me now? How about now? Can you hear me now?" And I was done. I was like, "Shut the F up. Stop. Like, stop. Right? Just get off the freaking phone. We're camping. Like, we're camping." I didn't want to camp, but I was just like, right? I'm just all the emotions. I looked at them and I'm like, I'm done camping. I'm done. I'm not staying here another night. I'm done camping. And they were like, oh, okay. And I said, yeah, there is a casino like 10 minutes down the road. I will be there. Like, I am done camping. Like, I don't camp. So since then, the girls have talked about going camping with me before, and they're like, no, Marley's not going to go camping. Like, she doesn't go camping. And flash forward to probably 6 or 7 years ago, I'm at a football practice with Josiah, and we were friends with all the parents there, right?
Yeah.
Like, good friends. And John just is like jonesing to go camp, has been jonesing to go camping for like 3 years, right? Mm-hmm. And we're at Sam's Club, and they have like a huge, like 9-person tent and air mattresses and all these things like on sale. He's like, oh, we could get all of this and we could go camping. And in my mind, I'm thinking, damn it, I'm just going to let him get it so he can realize that how crappy this is, right? So we get it all. And we get to the football practice, and I'm telling my friends, we're going camping, baby. That's all I keep saying. To which my friend Jill and her husband, Jill's like, I've never been camping. We should go camping with you. And I was like, yeah, go get this stuff from Sam's. Like, it's on sale. Go get it. She's like, great. So they get the stuff, and we get the stuff, and my sister has all the stuff because she's that kind of girl. So she has all the, she's like, we're going to go camping. I'm like, we're going camping, baby. Like, all the time. Everything. We're packing the truck. We're going camping, baby. We're there. We're like, honk, honk. We're going camping, baby. Right? Oh my God. We get there. The site we're on is full of ants. So many ants. Ants everywhere. Oh, so many ants. We get everything set up. It takes like an hour and a half to set. I have just driven 3 hours. Now I spend an hour and a half getting things set up. And now I get to try and have fun. No, you don't get to have fun because there's ants everywhere. Oh, but you also have to cook food. You also have to figure out where you're going to pee. All these things, right? I'm like, who wants to do this? This is terrible.
Thank you.
So we make s'mores, because that's the best part of camping. We make s'mores. We're all having a good time around the fire, and it's time to go to bed. So we all get in the big old tent that we have, right? The kids are sleeping. John and I are on an air mattress. And John goes, hey, Marlena. I go, what? He goes, I don't have my CPAP. And I go, oh, it's going to be a long night for you.
Yep.
He was up all night. Mm-hmm. We were freezing. Like, it was awful. It was awful. I mean, and it was September, I think. We woke up the next morning. John goes, you ready to go home? I go, we're done camping, baby. And so we packed all the shit up, went home, never used it again, gave it away to the Goodwill. I don't want to go camping. I do not like it. Sam, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
I am an indoor cat.
Yeah.
I am an indoor cat.
John and I went to just outside of Port Angeles, Washington. We love it there, right? The Olympic Peninsula. But we were in this like fully furnished cabin where working like electricity, bathroom, all the things, right? That was awesome. Love that.
Look, I'm all about a glamping moment. I'd love to be in nature, but also the convenience of electricity and indoor plumbing.
I thought that was the life. I would do that again. I was by the ocean. I was knitting. You guys probably saw it. I had it in my Instagram reels and stuff, right? I was like, I love this. But camping? No. I do not want to go.
Look, my ancestors worked hard so that I didn't have to build my own shelter. And I'm gonna thank them for their sacrifices. And I'm gonna enjoy my indoor plumbing and my electricity.
The funny thing is
today.
John is like so, you know, we just turned 47, but he's excited about retirement. Like he was like, if I could retire at 55, I'm great. I'm like, okay. He goes, don't laugh at my goals. You're never supportive of my goals. I'm like, no, that's not true, babe. I am fully supportive, but I just don't think it's realistic. But I am 100% supportive of it. And he's like, well, it could be realistic if we just cut back on some things. I'm like, babe, what part of this makes you think I'm gonna want to cut back? Like, what do you mean?
You have 2 kids. Alora's not enrolled right now.
All the things,
no. In college.
And so, and it's not that we're overexpecting. Anyways, I'm just like, if we can afford to have you retire at 55, great. He goes, well, maybe you'll be doing so great, and I just come work from you. I'm like, He goes, and we could get like a big old truck and get a 5th wheel, and we could drive around the country because we do like to travel. Like we really do like to travel. And we would have like all of our stuff with us. We'd have the girls. That's what we call the dogs. We'd have the girls with us, and it would be great. And I go, and he's like, because you know, you can work from anywhere. He goes, so what do you think? I'm like, I think that's camping. He goes, that's not camping. We have a 5th wheel. I'm like, that's camping. That's camping. And you want to sell the house? He goes, yeah, we don't need it. We got the 5th wheel. We don't need the house. I'm like, I don't understand this. I literally have my perfect office down here. My perfect, and you want me to sell it to go camping? What? I'm like, yeah, I know. So then he's like, well, I want to travel some, and and I'm like, I do too. Absolutely do. He goes, but we can't afford to like go stay in hotels all over the place. I said, I completely understand that. But I'm not going to go spend my life in a camper. Like, unless if that was something I had to do, yes, absolutely, I could do it. If it was something I enjoyed, absolutely, I would go do it. It's not that I look down upon it. Not even. I think it's wonderful. I have friends who do that. It is not for me, right? Look, just like people
I'm going to say one thing to you, okay? And honey, I'm sorry, but this is the facts of marriage. So, babe, sorry, babe. I love the idea of a 5th wheel. I love the idea of traveling around the country and seeing the country. My husband spent his whole childhood traveling the country. He saw the whole country from his car with his parents. He literally has been to all 50 states. And except Alaska, like, because you can't drive to Alaska or Hawaii.
We should
go to Hawaii when he was a kid.
We should go on an Alaskan cruise. Because you don't have to get in the, like, you're in a boat, but
I'm not getting in the water.
No, I know, but you're so close to the shoreline, like you can always see it. So it's not scary.
That I would do, but open water, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
And so he's saying, like, I think it sounds like a lot of fun. But I'm going to tell you right now, Maggie, yes, you can drive to Alaska, but his family could not because they didn't have that much time. Not that Georgia didn't try. She did. It's the whole tiny house concept, okay? Like, if my husband or I have violent gas, you cannot escape that person.
Valid.
Like, if you have food poisoning and you are screaming eagle in the bathroom, your whole place.
Imagine Bridesmaid when she's like on the sink. Don't look at me! Don't look at me!
Like,
I'm going down.
I want to be very clear. Oh, I want to say that I thought of that, but I was like, look at these tiny houses. This isn't a bad idea. And Dave goes, no. And I said, why? He goes, because if I fart, you can't escape.
It's like the 3 little pigs. I'm gonna huff and a puff and I'm blowing your house.
Okay, so you know, when I was upstairs at the house where my desk was, it was right in front of the cold air return.
Yes.
Right? And one time, sorry, babe, I'm gonna tell this story. He posted it on Facebook, so I'm pretty sure he's fine with it.
Okay.
So he's like, because I'd gotten onto him like, do not come up here and fart at me and then leave. Like, I'm
my
working
kids do that crap
all the time. And
yes
so I mean, jokingly, he never really did, but I'm like, don't you dare, right?
oh
So
my
he'd
kids
come
don't
upstairs
just
to
do
sit.
it
Yeah, he'd come upstairs to sit with me, and he's like, oh, like the cold air return is like sucking the air in. He's like, I'm gonna fart because it's gonna get taken out right away. It was like the air conditioner knew. And he farted and just kicked off. And like the funny part of it is that he's just sitting there and he goes, well, shit. And I'm over the cutting table. I'm like, what's wrong? And he goes, well, I needed to fart. The cold air return was, pulling the air out of the room. So I was like, I'm good. And he goes, and I farted and kicked off. And now I'm just sitting here. I have to just sit in my decisions.
It's amazing what happens when you get married. And I don't know about you or how quickly it happened to you, but for me, it was literally my wedding night. Have I ever told you about our wedding night? Not the corporate, but so our wedding night, we stayed at a hotel in Golden, Colorado, this really old, nice hotel.
Yeah.
We had room service and I wasn't hungry. He ordered a steak that had like those fried onions on top and mashed potatoes and gravy, like all the things. He was loving life. I, on the other hand, I'm 3 months pregnant. Not 3 months? No, 2 months. 2 months pregnant.
Okay.
I think I'm 2 months pregnant. Whatever. I'm pregnant. And which, by the way, side note, I didn't get married because I was pregnant. We just happened to find out we're pregnant just as soon as we got engaged. Like that, just so you know.
Just happened. Yeah.
Just because I want to be clear on that. That's not why we got married, but it was like, well, I guess we're starting our family.
Even if it was,
it is
ended up okay.
Yeah, it is what it is. So John eats it all, and I have morning sickness. So the next morning I wake up and John's on the toilet, like praying to the porcelain. Like he's shitting like mad. Like,
oh God,
what the onions did not settle well with him. Like he is a mess. And I wake up and I have to throw up like bad, right? It's a wicker trash basket.
Uh-huh.
Can't use that, right? I didn't even think about puking in the sink. I was like, dude, you're going to have to pinch it off. Like, I have to go to the bathroom. All right. So he flushes and I run in there. I do not recommend putting your head right where that was. And oh my God, it was the worst. From that point on through the whole pregnancy, the minute I smelled any sort of like John's restroom adventures or his farts, I was gagging. Like it was terrible. It was the worst. Yeah, you guys, it was so bad. It was so gross. And he was like, well, happy wedding night. I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. But there it is. Whoop, there it is. Oh my gosh. Man. Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. We've talked about shit and dicks. It can't be.
Hey, it's late night.
It's late night. That's where I'm sorry, guys. Hey, side note. I am so proud of the ornament I made.
Dude, y'all, she texted me last night at like 10:30 and she said, I am a genius. This is adorable. And it was a picture and I was like, yes, and yes, it is, and you are.
So my instructions from Robin, or Robin's instructions to me, were you need to make an ornament. And I was like, okay, like, do you have like what? She goes, I just want you to just make something fun. Just like for you. Like, I want you to think to yourself, what do I want to make? Like, just go for it. I was like, okay. She goes, it doesn't have to like fit over a bulb. It could be whatever you want. I was like, all right. So all I kept thinking about was on my tree, we have these little ornaments. Like we have these ornaments.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? That would be cute, but I don't want to make a cardigan. Like, but I could do something like this. I'm like, I could make a sweater. I said, I could design a sweater. I'm like, well, what would I do? Because I don't want to do really Fair Isle on double points because you have to do double points, right? I was like, what do I want to do? And so then I remembered that I had this stitch that I like. And I'm like, you know what? That kind of looks like it's garland or lights or something. I'm like, oh, I could play with that. So I just started going, and
it's adorable. Oh my God.
it is the cutest thing. I was like, and I was going to make it a crew neck. And Emily was like, you should make that a turtleneck. And I was like, yes, I should. So I made it a turtleneck. I can't even express to you how much fun I had doing this. After making that big sweater twice and all the things, right? I was like, I love this. And I got to use a yarn that was new from Yarnspirations that I like, but I haven't gotten a chance to use it. It's a wool, but it's a recycled wool, and it's like a gritty wool. Do you know what I mean? It has some stick to it. And I was very excited. And I happened to have red and green. So I was like, this is like it was made to be, like meant to be. So that was my free ornament today, or part of the Jolly Holiday today. But I was very, very proud of it. Like it's a full-on sweater. Like it's a real sweater.
It's really cute.
It is so cute. It is, you guys, this thing is the cutest thing. I love it. I love it so much. I was very excited. Speaking of Yarnspirations, I got a text back from Renee. Renee is my contact over there. Remember I told you guys that I was like, I'm so sorry. So she replied back and she was like, don't worry about it. We'll get it rescheduled. By the way, sorry for the late reply. I typed this out yesterday and then forgot to hit send. I was like, oh, thank you so much. Like, thank you so much for, I'm like, I've just been sick to my stomach. I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's like, don't worry about it. We'll get it rescheduled. Nope. You know, she was very kind. So I talked to them this week. So hopefully everything will turn out great. But that made me feel good because she sent it today. Yesterday. She sent it today. Today or last night? Last night. I don't know.
Look, I can't remember that it's still the weekend because I've done so many flipping things.
I'm like, is today Sunday or Saturday? Today's Sunday, right? Yeah, today's Sunday. Because I have a doctor's
yesterday, remember, I was like, why can't I get anybody on tech support for my computer? Because it's Saturday, Lindsay.
Yeah. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I have a female doctor appointment tomorrow. Because it's all about my pelvic floor, because my pelvic floor is not good. Mm-hmm. So I go to that wonderful appointment tomorrow. Yay.
I have a massage tomorrow, so that's exciting.
Oh, that's way better than what I'm doing. Yeah. It's way better. I don't know.
Yeah. My massage therapist is basically my hero. Like, look, that she's this big. But when I'm like, I want you to put your elbow in my shoulder blade, she's like, good. I'm like, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I haven't even looked. We have been dying laughing and all the things. I'm sure the comments are going wild. What have you been paying? I haven't even looked. I'm so glad you guys are here, by the way. It's so nice to have you around. I mean, apparently they really like to be flies on the wall in our conversations, Linz. We talk about everything you can imagine.
You never know what you're gonna get. Okay. It could be like serious business strategy.
Yep.
Or like, hey, Marley got a dick pic in her inbox.
I did.
I mean, like,
oh my God. It's crazy sauce, man. Crazy sauce.
Also, I just want to say that this is the scarf that never ends, and I will die here. Please send all my mail to the scarf.
All right. Well, we told everybody today that we would pick a winner for the planner. So I need you to go to the video that we did for the planner. Don't ask me which one it was. I don't remember what day that was. Yes, I do. That was Thursday because
it was the 13th.
No.
Yep. No, it was the 12th. It was the 12th.
Because that was the day I freaked out. It was the 12th. Yeah. So it was Thursday.
All right. Let me go find the 12th.
And you gotta pick. I mean, you guys were awesome. You guys made me feel so good. You were leaving so many comments about don't worry about it. I forgot things. You've told me so many different, like some of you.
Oh, there's a lot of comments.
There's a lot, and there are some funny ones.
Okay,
and like,
all right.
Like funny because you're like, okay, they're okay. That was really funny.
Okay, I'm going to this is a lot of comments.
There's a lot.
I was not prepared. I was not prepared.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've gotten to the bottom. All right. Let's see. I had a work meeting they forgot about, and my boss pointed it out in the meeting in front of everyone that I was missing. Oh, your boss is a jerk.
Yeah. There's one where she was going to her best friend's wedding or something like that, and she thought
I was a week early to a baby shower. I've done that.
She was going to a wedding and she was an hour late and didn't realize it. They were all going to the reception when she got there. She was like, "Are you kidding me?" Oh I would be brokenhearted. I'd be like, "Are you what?"
Let's see. Missed a doctor's appointment because I thought it was next week.
I've done that. There was another one. She missed.
Yeah, I still feel bad about this one. One of my really good friends was getting married. I wanted to contribute and said I would make the ring bearer pillow for the wedding. I lost track of time and days. My friend called me and asked if she could pick up the pillow, and I was like, "It's not ready yet." She was getting married the next day, and I was nowhere near finished. I felt so bad. She said it was okay, but I just felt so bad. I still never finished it. I understand when you set deadlines for yourself and life happens. Could have, would have, should have conversations happen in your head. It's taken me this long to realize that I have the same 24 hours as everybody else. So don't beat yourself up when life happens. Yeah, that's valid.
Right. It's like there's so many, like, it's just, it happens to all of us. It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens.
Let's see. Convinced myself that my nephew's birthday was on 9/17 a couple of years ago. I was preparing to call him on that day and sing him happy birthday when I looked at my calendar and noticed it was 8/17 and I had missed it. I had to apologize profusely to my sister and nephew for getting the dates mixed up. I should have remembered since my daughter's birthday is also in August. I was planning a vacation a couple of years ago to England. I forgot to take into account the time difference. So I booked my Airbnb arrival for the day I left California, August 1st, but didn't arrive until August 2nd. So I booked my return flight for the day after I checked out of my Airbnb. They couldn't extend my stay by one day. So I had to get a hotel room for one night. Oh, that sucks. Let's see. Got the wrong date for ordering supplements. Done that. Moved to a new town and got set up with a new dentist. She had Saturday office hours once a month. I was able to get on a Saturday schedule, which were coveted. A couple years in, I totally forgot about an appointment and got kicked off of ever getting a Saturday appointment again. That
would suck.
Yeah, especially because have to take vacation hours, no PTO for dental appointments. Ugh.
Did you read the one where somebody was like, I think it was that one. I think Marley, I had the same dentist as you in Colorado. And I was like, it was at Comfort Dental. I don't know the doctor's name that hurt me. I just know it was at Comfort Dental.
Let's see. Friend's wedding a full hour late. You talked about that one. Had to reschedule my daughter's orthodontist appointment because I didn't set up a notice in my calendar for a 30-minute reminder. Only got a 10-minute. There was no way I could have made that work. Done that more than once. I
have my alarm already set up for an hour reminder before I have to be there because I have to be 15 minutes before my appointment, and it's 30 minutes to get there, but it's also rush hour. So I'm like, I'm going to leave an hour beforehand. So I have to leave at 8 o'clock tomorrow.
Oof.
Yeah.
Let's see. So the summer I was ferrying our kids to soccer game. We had the right day, but definitely the wrong field. Eventually we got to the right field and didn't miss too much of the game. It was very worthwhile doing all the soccer runs for the kids. Also, like they'll change the field on you and not tell you. That is very true.
Yeah.
Let's see. I can't tell you how many times in 60 plus years I've missed an appointment.
Y'all made me feel very good. So thank you very much. Like
recently had a work crew coming over to fix our bathroom door or bathroom floor. They showed up a week earlier than I thought they would. Even though they came on the right day, it was laundry day at our house and nothing presentable was clean. I felt a lot like Lorelai on Rory's first day at Chilton. They were coming in and out of the house and I ran to jump under a blanket every time they had to come in. It wasn't as bad as I felt that day. And now I can laugh about it. But believe me, when I saw them show up and had to answer the door, I swallowed my stomach.
Oh
no.
I hate it when John comes home and that house is a mess and he's like bringing in one of his coworkers. I'm like, what are you doing? You know what this house looks like. What are you doing? He goes, it's just lived in. I'm like, no, that's not the right answer, sir. You do not come in this house with guests when the house looks like this.
Yeah. A lot of people are talking about brain fog. That is very true.
Yeah.
All right, 152 comments.
It's
All right, do you want me? I'm gonna scroll. Do you want to say
sure.
stop?
I'll tell you when to stop. So you have to go up and down.
Okay.
Up and down.
Up and down.
And down.
Up and down.
And down. And stop.
Okay, it looks like Krista Daystar.
Okay.
She said, just yesterday, my husband reminded me twice that I had an appointment to take the dog for a vaccination. I made the appointment myself. Maybe if I'd written down instead of typed it, I'd remember. Oh, I know that feeling. I've done that.
Yep. Awesome. So let's see here. Because can you text her, say, hey, I need you to email Marley, contact@marleybird.com, and say if you can verify like the 1 minute or 1 hour and 2 minute, 2.5 minute area of this podcast.
Yeah.
You can verify that it's not spam. Krista Daystar. Oh, she's here. Oh, she's here. Oh, hey. Congratulations. Well,
yeah, I was just typing like, if you want to make this isn't spam, you can see it on the live.
That's awesome. Well, then she can just email you. She doesn't have to email me. She can email you.
Yeah, I'm gonna still say winner chicken dinner because
that's awesome. Congratulations.
All right.
That's fantastic.
And then for some reason I can't like add a comment in StreamYard. I don't know why.
I have no clue, man.
I'm not complaining. That's fine. That's
hey, at least you're in high definition now.
because here's the thing. When we called each other about the besties thing, it was like, you look great. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah. I was like, you're all clear. What is going on? I'm so happy she's here. That's so great. That's so awesome. So this week, I'm going to give you guys a little tidbit. This week, we are going to do like an add-on to the Jolly Holiday. So like, it'll be like you get the Jolly Holiday and plus there's going to be a little add-on, and the people who already bought it will get the add-on too. So don't think, oh, I'm going to miss out. No, you'll get it too. But I'm just mentioning that right now in case anybody is on the fence, even though I know like we've had a stocking, we've had an ornament, and what else did we have? How many days? Is this the second day? How many days have we done this?
I don't know.
I'm so out of it.
It's the 15th.
Hold on. We did.
You did the 13th, the 14th, the 15th.
Okay. We did the stockings the first day. What was yesterday?
Blankets.
Oh my gosh. So we've done stocking, blankets, and ornament. Tomorrow, I will tell you there's sweaters.
Ooh.
So we just need a little bit extra time tomorrow. So they won't be up by noon because I have a doctor's appointment. Robin has a doctor's appointment, or not a doctor's appointment. She has something for the kids, I think. Anyways, we're going to do our best to get everything up. But it's not the only sweater that's in the collection. If my lovely knitters will be able to hurry up and get things back to me. No rush. If they don't, it'll be all right. They will be added on. It'll all work out. But I just wanted to mention that out there to everybody. Also, you know what I want to do?
What?
Hold on. Let me see if I can do it before I say it. Tell them about your flash sale while I'm testing.
Oh, yeah. So today is 30% off. I don't remember. That's terrible.
I don't remember.
It's 30% off. I just looked in the description.
Nice.
It's 30% off our large zip top project bag. It's a crossbody bag. It's a really good size bag for travel, for your projects. It's a good like overnight bag. And they're 30% off. And you get the crossbody strap, which will extend to 60. It's like I cut it 62, so it should finish about at 60. And that is so if you are a person who has a larger chest, it will come across your body without like being in your armpit, because that is the worst thing a crossbody bag can do.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if you are a short person, if you are a petite person, it's not so long that it's like at your knee. So
that's perfect.
Because everybody people come in all shapes and sizes.
Yes.
And I only buy men's crossbody bags because women's crossbody bags, crossbody isn't ever long enough for me.
Yes. Yes. Valid. Okay. Let me see if I can do this. Okay.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you
So
doing?
I went into Thrivecart. So this only works for all of the checkouts I'm going to tell you. So all of these items in the Marley Birdhouse are 50% off.
Ooh.
Until the 18th. Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So if somebody want to jot them down so then I can put them somewhere.
Here, hang on. Can I get a pen?
Okay.
Pen.
Because you have to know what they are. So that way, because it's not everything, but I want you to know what they are.
Okay.
All right.
Birdhouse.
Birdhouse.
Go.
Game Day MVP 2024. Both the knit and the crochet.
Okay.
Turkey Trot VIP 2023. Both the knit and crochet. VIP Experience of 2023. Both the knit and crochet. That's the Sazerac and the poncho. The Monet Blanket. Game Day of 2023. Crochet and knit. Silver Platter 2022. That one's it's all a by Crafty.
You said 22?
Yeah, 2022.
Okay. This is a lot.
Yeah. Classic and Colorful Socks Workshop. And that's all.
That's are we counting the knit and crochet as two separate ones?
Because they're
1, 2, 3,
if I
4,
told you knit and crochet,
5,
those are
6,
two separate.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay,
11
so I'm saving changes.
Okay.
And let me see here. Come on, close. Copy code. Let me come back over here. Code is 50 off. So I kept it real simple. 50 off. So it's 50% off any of those. So if you've been hesitating to stock up in your Marley Birdhouse, why the hell not?
Why not?
Why the hell not?
Honestly, that's how I feel about these flash sales. Like, why not?
Why the hell not?
Why not?
So yeah, all those are 50% off. And you have the list?
I do.
Okay. So if you want to read it back to me, I'm going to type it into YouTube. Hold on a minute. I got to go to YouTube. Gotta go to YouTube. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
That's appropriate for how this started.
You what?
It's appropriate for how this podcast started.
Right? Yeah. My daughter, like every now and then, I'll just have some random thing pop in my head and I start singing it. She's like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "I have no idea." Like,
we have a joke at the studio. Like, randomly, one of us will go, "What song's in your head?" Because all of us are apparently neurospicy and none of us knew. And like, Michelle can sing.
Yeah.
And so she'll start singing and then she'll stop and then Angie will start singing and then she'll stop. And then because we've all sung a song, now we all have different songs in our head.
Nice.
So then we'll just ask, like, what song's going on? What's in your mental jukebox?
So I have Little Mermaid in my head a lot. Like, she's in my head a lot, but more often than not, my baloney has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second name. It's M-A-Y-E-R.
So I was sewing the By Crafty bags. And there's a place where I have to backstitch. Like, I backtack to make, because it's a place that has a lot of tension put on it. And so I backtack it to make sure that it's really tough so that it lasts, because that's who I am. Also anxious. That's fine. And I'm sewing, and Angie was here and she was turning bags right side out for me. And like, I have my machine at the top now. It is at 5,000 stitches a minute. Well, that means when you hit the reverse button, it has a different noise because it is slower. It can't reverse that fast. And so it'd be like, do like at the right? And I was like, there was a song and it fit perfectly and I could not stop singing it. And it was like, the verse was exactly as like, it was like a verse and then got to that beat again, exactly the length that I had to sew. Yeah. So that was, It took me days to get that out of my head. And now I couldn't tell you what the song was if you paid me.
Right. And that stuff happens to me all the time. All the time.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Game Day 2024 VIP knit and crochet.
Got it. I already got that one. And I got the 2023.
Okay. Turkey Trot VIP 23 knit and crochet. VIP 23 knit and crochet. You said that's the Sazerac and the poncho.
Okay, hold on. So Turkey Trot VIP 2023 crochet and knitting. So hold on. Is there another Turkey Trot in there?
You have a silver platter 22.
Okay, hold on.
That one was by Crafty though.
I was trying to put them all together. You know what I mean? Turkey Trot. Wow, that's a lot. VIP 2022 by Crafty means both crafts.
Okay, I'm going to cross. So you've done silver.
So I've done Game Day 2024, Game Day 2023, Turkey Trot 2023, Turkey Trot VIP Silver Platter 2022.
Okay. You have a Game Day 2023, so put that with the other Game Day.
I got that.
Okay. You've got the Monet blanket.
Monet crochet crochet blanket. Okay.
You've got the VIP 23. That was the Sazerac and the
first fall.
First fall. You didn't tell me it was first fall. You just said VIP.
Sorry. First fall VIP 2023. And there is one knit and one crochet. I can't remember.
Yeah, you said knit and crochet.
All right. So crochet and then first fall. Wow. VIP 2023 knitting. Okay. These are sweaters. I'm going to put, that one's a poncho. Whoops. And this one is a sweater. Okay.
And then you have Classic and Colorful Socks Workshop.
Classic and Colorful Socks. Classic and Colorful Crochet Socks. Socks Workshop. That's everything? Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
You know, today I was in the birdhouse, like behind the scenes and looking at everything. And it says that everything in our house, like so stuff that's published and not published, we have 42 products. Wow. 42. Because you have like all the Jolly Holidays, you have the 2 courses, the shape architecture with crochet motifs, shawl shape concepts with mosaic color work. And then I have By Crafty Besties started, and then Stash Busting Quickies 1, 2, and 3. Only the crochet, only the knit, By Crafty Champions, where it all began. Christmas in July. I mean, it's just crazy. There's so much stuff. And then archived, there's Prancing with the Holidays, Azora's, favorite patterns, early bird, favorite pattern. Like it's just crazy to me to think of how much work has gone into that. Like it's just so much work. So the code is 50 off. Let me see.
That's what you said.
Write that down. Code at checkout is 50 off. And the checkout should, if you're checking out inside of the Marley Birdhouse, you shouldn't be doing that. It should be that you're in Thrivecart checking out. So let me know if something's wrong there. You should be, and you'll know.
Yeah. Because here's one for you. So Kate messaged me earlier today, and she was like, hey, I just need to get this out of my brain. So I'm going to dump it here, and then I'm going to put it on our calendar. I was like, great. That sounds great. And she was like, hey, do you have she's like, what products, like, what did she ask me? She was like, how do I explain Hankmas? I was like, oh, well, like we have several products that we make regularly that were Hankmas. And she was like, oh, like what? And I had to go back and actually look, like I had to think it through. You ready for this? Things that came out of Hankmas. You ready? Worth Doing, Market Tote, Super Twofer, Stash Finder, Project Pals. That was a Hankmas item.
There's a lot.
Right? Nonomy, which I don't make all the time, but sometimes.
I like that one.
The Totemy, which I don't make all the time, but sometimes. The Triple Zip was a Hankmas product. Yeah, that was one of them. I don't make that one all the time either. Okay. Like the sweater bag. was a Hank Miss
Really?
item.
Really?
The Oops bag was a Hank Miss item. And like when I had to list it, I was like, oh.
Yeah. We've been busy.
Oh.
We've been busy. I noticed on Ravelry, I don't even have all my patterns listed on Ravelry for sale. 723 patterns.
Whoa.
And they're not even all there. I mean, I'm just like, really? Have I done that?
Also, I was so proud of myself this week. I actually made a whole page dedicated to Hangmas and put it on my website. I was so proud.
Good for you.
Oh. I think I forgot to put on the I bet you $1 million I did. I bet you $1 million I did. I forgot to put on my nav bar. I bet you $1 million right now.
I changed my home screen so that it showed Jolly Holiday so people could easily find where the crochet pattern of the day is and the knitting pattern of the day is.
Yeah, I totally forgot to put it on there. Great.
You're good. That's works. You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing.
Doing the best. Well, I'm going to do it right now because if I don't, I won't remember.
You're fine. I guess I should probably tell people where they need to go to get those the courses.
Probably.
Yeah, it might be good. Just throwing that out there. https://marleybirdhouse.com. It's that easy. It's so easy.
Look at me go. Now it's on my homepage. It's on my homepage.
Look at us. We're being productive.
Of productivity.
We are amazing. Just ask us. We're outstanding.
Duh.
So John is out of town until Tuesday.
He left this leave morning. On Thursday?
What?
Don't you guys go out of town on Thursday?
Friday morning.
Do you guys fly or drive?
We're gonna fly this time. Yeah. Which is a little scary because I am not anywhere near close to being ready with my stuff for Jolly Holiday. So that terrifies me just a little bit. I'll get there, but it's just a little bit scary. Lost my train of thought. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, he's out of town. So he left this morning to go to Minnesota. And it's funny because, when he's home, I do try to go to bed when he's in bed, right?
Yeah.
I don't often stay up super late. I know it looks that way, but I really don't all the time. Like I value my sleep, but I know that when there is a deadline and there's money involved and stuff, like I push through, right?
Yeah.
I don't like disappointing people, which by the way, I edited all of lesson 6 today. Except for the part for the shoulders where I have to redo it because my camera didn't record. So it's all recorded. It's all rendered right now, but I'm not uploading it yet because we're on here and I didn't want it to interfere. So I'm going to upload it right after this. But anyways, I try and go to bed with him. But when he's out of town, is it bad that I feel like I get kind of like this, like a pass where I'm like, ooh, I can stay up as late as I want, work as long as I want, and nobody's going to say anything. Like, I get really excited about it. Not saying that I don't miss him, because I really do miss him. But I like that I get to stay down here and work without having, hi, bunny, without having to, I don't know, feel bad that I'm not seeing him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I told him, I said, I get to see you next weekend. Like, next weekend's our anniversary. That's why we're going to Disney again. If you guys don't know, like, somebody was like, you need annual passes. We have annual passes. And with Southwest, we have a companion pass too. So we only have to pay for his ticket and my ticket's free.
That's
so
nice.
It's very cost effective. So we're going there for our anniversary. 23 years. 23 years. Isn't that crazy? Wow. That's so crazy to me. I mean, we're a bar couple. We met at a bar, like a dancing bar. That's just wild to me.
Before the internet.
Well, yeah, before internet dating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
Dave and I met in college.
Mm-hmm.
I was complaining loudly on a set of stairs and he heard me. And that was it. He was like, who is this person who is so boisterously loud and opinionated? And I was like, hi, it's me. And he was like, yep, I'm going to marry her. And then he did.
That's funny. When I met John, okay, I told you guys we broke up, Joe and I broke up, and we played like this 6 month of where are we? Are we going to get back together? What are we doing? Blah, blah, blah. Like just crap. Right.
Yeah.
And so it was the night before New Year's Eve in 2000 going into 2001.
Yeah.
And I'm going out with my girlfriends. We were going to Lodo's Bar and Grill in Denver, Colorado. That's closed since now. And Joe had left to go to Georgia for like with his parents or something. I can't really remember. But I remember I told him, I was like, okay, if you really want to work things out together, you need to call me at midnight. Let's start the new year off together and just like to start brand new. Right. I was like,
Yeah.
but at midnight, not like 10 minutes, like at midnight. He's like, great. Okay. So the night before New Year's, going out with my girlfriends, and unbeknownst to me, they did not like him. I didn't know this. We are all very, very private about interfering with each other's relationship. There's only been one time when we've ever interfered with each other's relationship. And I'm not going to talk about that.
No.
And so there's only been one time. Other than that, like that's not who we are. That as people, that's not who we are.
Right.
So they did not like him, and they were just like, hey, you know what? We're going to find you a guy here. And I was like, no, you're not. No. And they're like, no, yes, we are. So Adrian took my arm over here on this side, and Diane took my arm over here, and they're walking me around the bar, right? They're like, what about that guy? I'm like, you guys, I am not meeting a guy at a bar. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Just leave me alone. I want to go dance. Like all I wanted to do was I just want to dance. Like I didn't even go to the bar to drink. I just wanted to dance. I loved it. And as we were circling around the bar, there was not like a balcony area, but an area where you would walk up 3 steps and there was like a platform area.
Yeah.
And he was up there with his friend, Jeff. And John was just drinking a beer. And I was like, well, that guy's cute. I was like, that guy's cute. Go talk to him. I'm not gonna talk to him. I'm not gonna go meet a guy at a bar. I'm not interested.
Right.
Okay, whatever. So we're back on the dance floor. We're dancing. I now know because of John. John told me that as I was dancing on the dance floor, Jeff pointed me out and said, hey, you should go talk to that girl. And John was like,
it's a good wingman.
Yeah. He was like, huh. So I'm dancing. John, he laser eyes, right? If he's interested in something, he's hooked. He's like looking at you until you're looking at him. So I'm dancing with Tara and Adrian, and they're like, hey, that guy's looking at you. That guy's looking at you. I'm like, no, he's looking at you. I'm like, no, he's looking at you. Like, like, no. So Christina Aguilera's Baby Come On Over song came on. And John had a hold of his beer like by the neck, kind of like holding it like this. And he like waved like that. And I waved. And I was like, come on out here. So he did. He came out and he danced with me. And we talked a little bit. And I said, what's your name? He said, my name's John. What you guys don't know is like the last 5 guys I dated, all of them had a name that started with the letter J. And all of them were only children, right? So he said, my name's John. I go, next thing you're going to tell me you're an only child. He goes, yeah, how'd you know? And I was like, so we're meant to be. and he was like, okay, like, all right. So he goes, hey, let's go off the dance floor and talk a little bit. So we were just talking just a little bit. And he's like, what do you like to do? And I'm telling him that I'm a thrower up at CSU. And, I like to lift weights. I like to go shopping. And he goes, do you like shoes? And I'm like, I love shoes. He goes, I love shoes. And that was it for me. He was the guy who loved shoes. And I was like, I want to go out with this guy. Right. So his big line was, I'm cool. You're cool. We should go out sometime. And I had this moment. I remember standing there and thinking to myself, am I going to give this guy my number? Yep. So we found a waitress because cell phones, we didn't exchange numbers on cell. We found a waitress, got a piece of paper and a pen, exchanged phone numbers. And then I went back, started dancing with my girlfriends. He went back to Jeff, and Jeff and he were going to another bar, and he turned to say goodbye to me. I was wingman with the girls, right? So if there was a guy who was getting too close to the girls, we all had a pact that we were together. Yeah. So I was dancing very close with either Tara or Adrian, I don't know. And John was like, okay. So he went off to go get other girls' numbers, right? That was what he was out for. And that night, I knew that I did not want to go out. I didn't want to go out that night. I just was not interested. And then I found out later that he had told his grandma he didn't want to go out that night. Like, both of us were like, we just don't want to go out. But we ended up going out, right? So later that night, I'm with my girlfriends and we're at Denny's. And as you do when you're drunk and young and all the things after a club. And I'm just like kind of like, oh, kind of dazed out. And Janine goes, you're thinking about that guy, aren't you? I was like, he likes shoes. They were like, all right. So the next night is New Year's Eve. I'm at Janine's house. For many, many years, all of us spent New Year's Eve together. We would just stay in, played games, had fun. Like, we were just together. And they all knew that Joe had to call me at midnight, right? So midnight came around, no phone call. No phone call at 1, no phone call at 2. I fell asleep after that. He called at 9 o'clock the next morning. I did not answer. That was the final straw for me. Such a simple little thing. Yeah. But that was it for me. I was like, nope, that's it. We're done. We're not playing this game anymore. I'm officially done. So I didn't talk to him. Like, I didn't pick up the phone to talk to him. I didn't do anything, right? So January 2nd, I'm sitting at my parents' house and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call that guy. My stomach's butterflies and I'm like, okay, what am I going to say? I'm just, hey, how are you? Like, who am I? I'm Marlena. So I dial the number. This guy picks up like, hey, is this John? No? Or whatever. Yeah. Oh, okay. He goes, are you, who you trying to, I'm like, I'm trying to reach a guy I met, his name is John. Oh, well, no, I've had this number for years. And I was like, okay. I'm just like, he gave me the wrong number. Right. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Sorry. Hung up the phone. And my gut was like, no way he gave you the wrong number. Like, what? Maybe you misdialed. Well, I'm not going to dial the same number again and get Rick on the phone again. And he's going to be like, okay, lady, listen, Yeah. So I call Tara. I'm like, Tara, will you call this number and ask for John and, see if it's the same, if the same thing happens. She's like, sure. So she hangs up with me, calls the number. Hello. Hi, is this John? Yeah, it is. We didn't think
plan past. Yes, it is.
We did not think past that moment. She goes like, hi. I'm friends with the girl you met at the bar. And she's like, oh my God, he's never going to go out with her. Like, it's just like
this is the creepiest creepy ever.
I know. So I don't really know what they talk. I know John told me later on, he was like, what the hell just happened? But he was like, okay, well, tell her I'll call her back after work or something. Like, he was at work. So Tara called me. She's like, oh my God, we made a mistake. Like, and I was like, but at least he didn't give me the wrong number. So he did call me after work and we talked a little bit. He's like, why don't we go out tomorrow night? I was like, that sounds great. January 3rd. I was like, I have a job interview down at Denver at Northwestern Mutual. And then I could go out after that. He's like, awesome. So he comes to my parents' house to pick me up. Actually, no, he's on his way to my parents' house to pick me up and he can't find the house. So I have to drive down from North Ranch and meet him at the gas station so that he can follow me back to my parents' house, right? Now, remember, I was at a bar dancing. I'm not a pretty dancer in the sense of I sweat, y'all. I wasn't there to pick up a guy. I was there to have fun with my girlfriends. Yeah. I was sweaty. I was having fun, and I didn't look like I was working out, but I wasn't made up, like date made up, right? Yeah. So I remember he got out of his car to come and meet me because I had to take my mom's car down there. And he got it. He was like, he goes to the window and I rolled it down and he goes, Marlena? Like shocked. And I'm like, yeah, hi. And he's like, you look different. Like, wow, and I'm like, thanks. Okay, well, it's up here. Just follow me up. So he followed me up. He told me later on that he was like, I hit the jackpot. Like, I had no idea this girl looked this. I mean, I had my boobs out. I was looking good, right? And so he came in, he met my parents. And then we got in his car. It was a Honda Prelude. And in my side of the car, the bottom part, like there was a hole. It was like it could be a Flintstone. I was like, what am I in? Like, this is not safe. Okay. So we leave, and I'm like, what do you want to do? He's like, well, my best friend and his wife are having a baby tonight. So I thought maybe we might stop there to see the baby at the hospital later on, but they're still in labor right now. And I'm thinking, okay, that's weird, but whatever. Like, sure, let's kill two birds with one stone, whatever. Sure. So we go to dinner at Mimi's Cafe.
Yeah.
And I'm so nervous. And I order a patty melt because I love patty melts. And I cut it into quarters, which I still do. Like I eat my burgers in quarters. And I eat a quarter of it, and we're talking. And I did not want to bring up Joe, right? The last thing you want to do is bring up luggage.
Right.
But he brings up, why are you single? Like, I don't understand. And I'm like, what do? Do you lie to the guy? How do you do this? So I tell him, and I found out later that in his mind, he was like, this girl's got baggage. Not going to happen. Just, we're good. Yeah. And then we go to leave, and we're going to go watch a movie because Troy and Shannon still haven't had the baby. Yeah. And the lady's like, do you want a to-go box? I'm like, no. Because all I'm thinking, I'm not going to be the fat girl on a date that's bringing a to-go box, like to the like I'm not bringing that to the theater. And in John's mind, he's like, I just paid for this meal, and this lady's not eating her food, right? Valid. I get it. And so the theater is across the parking lot, and we're going to go see What Women Want with Mel Gibson. Such a good movie.
It's a cute movie.
And I'm cold. Like, I didn't bring a coat. I didn't think about it. So he let me borrow his coat, and we went in to see What Women Want. We watched it. And then Shannon had the baby, and they were like, we don't want anybody to come over. I was like, totally cool. Yeah. He took me home and didn't kiss me. And he told me he didn't kiss me. Later on, he told me he didn't kiss me because I had baggage. I was fine with that. Like, I was like, I actually never really kiss on the first date. Not my thing. And so I got inside. I was just like, it was wonderful conversation. It just felt really good. And, everybody talks about, oh, there's that rule, you have to wait till you contact somebody, whatever. I call bullshit on that. I'm sorry. If I liked a date or if I had a good time, I'm calling people. I'm calling them. I'm telling them. So I remember I called him later on that night. I was like, because it wasn't super late. Was it that night? The next morning? I don't know. I was like, I had a really great time. Thank you so much. Like, it was just really nice. He goes, awesome. When do you go back to CSU? And I told him it's like a week or whatever. Yeah. He's like, well, do you want to do something tonight? Sure. So then it's like hang out at his house, his grandparents' house. He had the whole basement in his grandparents' house. So we're over there and we're watching a movie and we're snuggling, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna get kissed tonight, right? He's holding my hand and he's like, so what kind of guys do you usually date? I'm like, I don't know, like
men that have J first names and are
right. Yeah. I said the J first name and only children. And I said, usually athletes. I said, all of them been blonde. He's like, oh. I said, how about you? He goes, I like short Mexican girls. In my head, I'm like, neither. None of those things. Neither. And he's holding my hand, and he was like, you have really big hands. And I'm like, okay, buddy, where are we going with this? Like, what is happening here? And I'm like,
you know how to make a girl feel special, right? John.
So I did tell him, I said, so what are you doing with the big white girl? Like, this doesn't make sense. And he was like, well, change is good. I'm like, oh, okay. He didn't kiss me that night either. We just hung out, and I was like, all right, dude's just, I have no idea. So the next night, he asked Tara and I to go out with him and his friends. and he picked me up early and he took me to Green Mountain. In Colorado, there's Green Mountain, so you can overlook the city. So he took me to Green Mountain. I was like, he's gonna kiss me, right? We're at Green Mountain. We're standing in front of my car. He's behind me, has his arms around me. I'm giving him all the signs, and he doesn't kiss me. We have to get in the car to go meet up with our friends. So we're in the car, and I go, "Listen, dude, are you ever gonna kiss me? Like, is this gonna happen? Like, what is happening here?
What are you doing?"
And he was like, well, yeah, I just wasn't sure. I was like, dude, let's go. Like, I'm ready for a kiss. And so he leans over and he gives me a peck, and I'm like, that's it. He's like, I have pressure now, like all this pressure. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we ended up going to dinner and then going to a dueling piano bar, and he like can't keep his lips off of me. Like, he's the best kisser, you guys. I love my husband. He's the best lips. He's just great. And Tara he's like, she knew the whole thing. And she's like, for a guy who didn't want to kiss you, he just can't keep his lips off you. I was like, I know. And so we saw each other each night until I left for CSU. And then I was gone like 3 days, and he came up to visit me. And so like we were literally together from January 3rd. We found out I was pregnant November 9th. So same year. We were married December 22nd. And the hard part for me was, you know, I'm seeing John. He's fantastic. He's all the things I want. But in my mind, all I'm thinking is, what the hell are people going to think? Marley just got out of this relationship of 2 years with this guy over here. She's just jumping into this one, right? That's all I'm thinking. And I told my mom that, and she goes, what does it matter what people think? What does it matter?
Yeah.
And that day before she told me that, John had asked me to be his girlfriend, and I told him no. And he was really upset. And so he had went home that night, and he came to the house the next day, and he told me that in his mind, he was like, all right, that's it. I'm going to start seeing other girls. Like, she's not the one. And when he was walking up the driveway to the house, my mom was like, you're really going to let this one go? I'm like, I don't want to, but what are people going to think? And that's just like, what does it matter?
What does it matter?
So later on that day, I was like, well, you know, I don't remember exactly what my words are, but I was like, I'd like to be your girlfriend. And he was like, great. And that was the moment where I was like, I have to just doesn't matter what people think. Cause this guy, he's all the things. He's all the things.
All the things.
He's all the things. So yeah, like 9/11 happened that year, right? 9/11. Yeah. September. And I remember he called me, and he was at that point, he was like, I want to make sure we have a future, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, great. You know, in my mind, I'm thinking I've been down this road before. You know, right. Everybody wants to marry me. Everybody was like, oh, I want to marry you. I'm not bragging. Like, literally, that's what it was like, you know?
Yeah, no, I know.
And so I didn't know this, but 2 weeks later, he had went out with my parents and bought a ring. Like, my parents helped him not helped him with money, but helped him pick out a ring. My mom picked out my ring. And at that same time, we were going to like a revival at church.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cry, you guys. I'm sorry. John got saved.
Oh.
And so, sounds funny. We decided at that moment, it was like, you know what? We shouldn't have premarital sex anymore. Like, this isn't right. And so it was like, okay. Little did I know, in his mind, he's like, no problem. I'm gonna marry this girl. Like,
I'm gonna lock it down. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
So it was like 3 weeks later, it was his birthday, and he was like, just one more time for the birthday. Well, you know, John's birthday gift was a Laura. That's actually truthfully how that happened. Okay. And so when we found out I was pregnant that very night, you remember Shannon and Troy when I said they were the ones that are having the baby? So we were over at Shannon and Troy's house. Troy and John had went out, and they were just talking, and John was telling Troy that he was going to proposed to me and he had the ring. He was telling him all the things, right? So Troy comes in and Shannon, they're just kind of talking like, are you guys going to get married? And I'm like, oh, we're thinking about it. You know, when are you going to have kids? And I'm like, oh, I don't want to have kids for at least like 4 or 5 years. Like I want to have some time together. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, where the hell is my period? I've spotted what is going on, right? We leave their house and I tell John, I'm like, hey, I'm not worried, but I feel like I have to tell you. And if I tell you, then it's going to come and I'm just going to be fine. He's like, well, let's just go take a test. I'm like, no, I don't think I need to take, I'm like, I'm going to be all right. He's like, no, let's just go. So we go to King Soopers, pick up a pregnancy test, go back to his grandparents' house, pee on the stick, and we wait. It comes up positive. I go, no. He's like, it looks positive. I'm like, no, we got to go get another one. We get back in the car, go to King Soopers, pick up another one. That's a twofer. Right now, I'm not buying one. I'm buying a twofer.
Yeah.
This is a true God story, you guys. We're at King Soopers. We're like kneeling down to look at all of the the pregnancy test, right? Yeah. This guy comes in behind us and he's trying to reach over John's shoulder for some condoms. And he's like, sorry, excuse me, guy. And he's like reaching over. And John, he's holding the pregnancy test and he looks up at the guy and the guy looks down at him and the guy goes, I'm sorry, man. And John's like, it's okay. It's okay. True story. I'm like, oh my God. So we go back, take the test again, pops up positive. I'm like, no. I'm on birth control, you guys. Like, what is happening? So I go home, I take the second test. And by that point, I'm dehydrated. So the minute the pee hits, it was like, hello. And I'm like, I really think I'm pregnant. So I call John. I'm like, I really think I'm pregnant. He goes, no shit, Sherlock. I go, okay. And he goes, well, will you marry me? And I go, no. And he goes, what? I said, I am not marrying you because I'm pregnant. I don't need you because I'm pregnant. I am not marrying you because I'm pregnant. He goes, no. Stop. You don't understand. I have the ring. I've asked your parents. I was going to propose next Saturday. This just rushes it up a little bit. And I go, you were? He goes, yeah. And I said, well, then, yeah, I'll marry you. So I'm totally married. Like, I want to marry you. I didn't want to marry you. Like, I was not going to be forced into a marriage with and the next day, you guys, we were getting baptized at church. So we're standing in front of the congregation, holding hands, knowing about this secret and we're just like, this is wild. Like, this is wild. Right. And so long story short, this has been a very long story, but, we told my parents and my parents were like, let's just get him married. And for us, we were like, let's just do this because I can get on his insurance. Yeah. So that was November 6th and we were married December 22nd. And the rest is history.
I just remember I guess I had come to visit you in Colorado and I didn't know that I didn't know that you were pregnant at your wedding. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. And you were like, oh yeah. I was pregnant with Alora when we got married. I was like, oh, did you know? And you were like, oh yeah, we knew. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, cause I've never done the math. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like I just never do the math. I don't care.
Right.
And I was like, well, like who, how that was like a whirlwind kind of situation.
It was.
And you were like, I just remember my mom asking me about, you said it was flowers. And she was like, Marlena, you have to make a decision. And you were like, yeah, I don't care, but I am going to Taco Bell. Goodbye.
Exactly. Yep. We were at like Lair's Flowers or something like that. And there was a Taco Bell next door. And my mom was like, you have to make a decision. If you guys know anything about me, like, I don't care. Like, just make the decision. I don't care. I didn't care what kind of flowers there were. I didn't care if there were flowers. It was my mom's gig. I'm like, just pick the flowers. She's like, well, you have to care. I said, no, I really don't, but I'm going to go get a taco. I left and she was so mad at me. And I'm like, I just don't care. I just wanted to get, but poor John, you guys. So all this time, right? John is still living with his grandparents. John's never lived out on his own before. He's never went grocery shopping before. Not only that, so John is graduating from college, moving out of his grandparents' house, getting his first apartment, getting married, having a baby, getting a new job, all in 6 months' time. 6 months. That boy, he's a unicorn. He's a unicorn. He's the best thing ever. But it was wild. And I mean, to this day, we're very much of, okay, let's do it. Like we don't waste time. We make a decision, we move forward. Like it's just what we do, right? It's just who we are. And so it's no surprise to me that we got married so quickly. And it was just like when you're planning a wedding like that, it's make a decision, move forward. Make a decision, move forward.
Yeah.
Like you don't have time to hem and haw about it. It's just whatever. Because I was engaged before, I knew what kind of dress I looked good in, so I went and got a new dress. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I did.
No, it doesn't.
And I knew who I wanted my bridesmaids to be. We picked a venue that was decorated for Christmas parties, so we didn't have to do a whole lot of decoration. It was good, right? It was no big deal. And like one of the best parts, I remember I tripped down the stairs and he was holding my hands during the wedding, and he was like, you know when a guy they hold and they just
Yeah.
he was the whole time. And I remember when the minister was like, for richer or poor, I died laughing. I was like, we're so poor. Way poor. And I mean, we both had jobs, but we're just like, how are we going to do this? And it just worked. Like he was the one. He's the one.
Yeah.
No doubt. After that moment of what are people going to think, I have never once had any doubt about John, ever. Never.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's the best. So anyways, our anniversary is December 22nd. We'll be at Disney. And we're going to have a nice time. I do treasure him. He's amazing. So, there you go. That's a very, very long story. Now you guys got a very detailed story about my life. But yeah. It's
I love that story though.
Kind of wild. What?
I love that story though.
It's a fun story. Like
it's
the best part
story
is when so Alora was due. I was due with Alora July 4th. And she was born July 2nd. And that morning I woke up. It was like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and I was like, John. It's like, what? I'm like, I think I wet the bed. Like waddling out of the bed to go to the bathroom. He's like, are you sure? And I'm like, well, maybe my water broke. I don't know. He's like, well, how do you know? And I'm like, I don't know. Smell it. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just like freaking out. Right. And I'm sitting on the toilet and like the water is still coming out. Like I know it's not pee. And I'm like, no, I really think my water broke. He's like, okay. So like, he's trying to like stay calm. And we have Alora's nursery all done up and everything's ready to go. He's like, okay, what do we do? And I'm like, well, the bag is packed. I'm going to jump in the shower real quick and rinse off. Cause it was everywhere. Right. I was like, I'm going to rinse off. I wasn't having any cramping. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
While I was doing that, John took our VHS camera and was talking to Alora, like, this is your room. We're going to go to the hospital today. And like all the things. Right. And so we get to the hospital and I don't do pain very well. I don't do pain. I mean, so I'm telling everybody I need an epidural. You got to wait that's fine. I just want to be very clear. I do not want this to wait too long. Like this, I need to have this. Okay, but we understand. And I got there right at shift change, right? So all the things. I get up to the room. They get me hooked up on the things. I'm in the gown. They're like, how you feeling? I said, I feel pretty good. Like I don't feel anything, right? Like, well, why don't you go take a walk around the hall? 3 steps out of that room. And I was like, oh God, we're going back. So I went back, got into bed. One thing I didn't tell you guys, the night I got pregnant with Alora, my best friend Janine, the one that was with me when I met John, got pregnant with her son, Sean. Same night. We were at the same party. Not together. We weren't doing things together. That wasn't that kind of party, but same night she got pregnant with her son Liam. So she was due 4 days after I was. So I'm in labor. I'm on the phone with her. And she's so precious. I love Janine. And she's like, hi, Marley, are you all right? I'm like, Janine, it hurts like hell, hurts like hell. And my mom's like, you can't tell her that. And I go, she can't turn back now. Like, she's got to know. Like, it hurts like hell. And I go, hold on a minute. Because when I'm in pain, I throw up. Like, so I give my dad the phone and I'm throwing up. My dad's like, sorry, she's got to throw up. And Janine's like, I'll just talk to her later. I'm good. I'm good. And so, yeah, John was so cute, like getting ready to go to the hospital. And like, he still talks about, you know, his favorite thing is when the baby was born and grabbing his finger. And my mom and John were there to help me. Like, each of them were holding my legs. And I mean, so I had a mirror, and I had a mirror to watch it all happen because I saw the finish line. I was like, I can do this. There's a finish line, right? And that's where I was. And so.
Wait, did you get an epidural?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll tell you that story.
Okay, because I was like, whoa. You skipped a step, boo.
Yeah, I had the epidural.
I just wanted to make sure, because otherwise I'm real surprised that hospital's still standing.
No. I had an epidural. I'll go back and tell you that. So, but I did want video, but I didn't want video of me, right? Like, right. I was like, but I want the experience, the situation. So mom's holding a leg, John's holding a leg. The doctor's like, oh, the baby's crowning. I'm pushing both of them. Oh, let's look. So they like let go of my legs. I'm like, hey, like, what are you doing? You know? So baby's born, everything's great. Back to the epidural. So I'm very excited about getting the epidural.
Yeah.
The doctor comes in and John's standing there and sir, are you all right with blood? So, yeah, I'm fine. No problem. Okay. So I'm just, you know, I'm, you know, if you've ever seen one, like you're hunched over kind of like this on the bed so that they can find your spine. Like, I'm in pain. Yeah. It's just, I don't care. Just make this stop. And, the doctor's doing his thing. And the next thing I hear is, sir, you need to sit down. I can't catch you. John, he goes, that thing was like this long and they're putting it in your back. And he was like, I've never seen anything like that in my life. And I was like, I don't care. It felt so good. I was just like, just stop the pain, get the pain out. And so, yeah, he almost passed out because of the epidural. So after that, he didn't watch the epidural for any of the other kids. And people are like, you know, why'd you get epidural? I'm like, you don't get a medal for not getting an epidural. Why wouldn't I get why would I not?
So
I was fine.
So I do not have children, obviously, but Jenny, when she had Perry, my oldest nephew, when she had Perry, she was really worried about the pain level, because when she has really bad pain, her blood pressure gets really high, like spikes really hard. Mm-hmm. And then she throws up, like, but then her blood pressure is really high. And of course, if you're a pregnant person, you have high blood pressure, they're worried you're going to stroke out.
Yes.
So she was like really worried about it. And I was like, oh, do you guys have like a birth plan? And she was like, go to the hospital, have a baby. There's the plan. Yeah. And I was like, I love it. I love it. That's amazing. And she was like, yeah, but someone from their church or Andy's family was head of anesthesiology at the hospital where she delivered. And so like she had a flag, like, if Jennifer comes in, then I want to know. And so her epidural with Perry, she was like, they were like, can you feel that? She's like, what? They're like, oh, it's time to push. She's like, oh, it is. And she was asleep, but also Jenny is a champion level sleeper. Like she's an Olympic gold level sleeper.
As soon as the epidural was in, I went to sleep. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, she was asleep and they were like, sweetie, we're going to move your legs. And apparently she woke up an hour later and was like, hey, Auntie, did they move my legs? He's like, sweetie, they moved your legs a long time ago. He's like, cool, went right back to sleep, right? Yeah. So she was, but my favorite was like, the doctor was like, oh, we're going to have her start pushing. And her mom was there. And her mom was like, oh, you need to have the doctor in the room when she starts pushing. Like, we are gold medal pushers in this house. Uh-huh. Right. And they were like, oh, it's fine. And they're like, so give us a push. And they're like, stop. Uh-huh. And Mary was like, I told you. So that was the experience she had with Perry. So then when she had Teddy, she was like, get the epidural. And they missed.
Oh no.
And so like half of one leg is numb, but like not her belly.
Oh God.
And so, like the contraction comes, her blood pressure spikes and she pukes. And they're like, why is your blood pressure high? She's like, because I can feel it. Uh-huh. And they're like, no, hang on, let's just like up the dose. Like that. She's like, yeah, now my leg is numb, but like that's not helpful. And I was like, oh my God. And she's like, and they're like, why is your blood pressure high? And she's like, because I can feel it. And they would, and finally she's like, get someone else. Because also, so Perry was like very chill. I'm not going anywhere. I'm cool to be here forever. I don't need to come out. So he had to be induced. Well, when she had Teddy, she was scheduled to go in the next morning at 10 a.m. and literally was climbing into bed at midnight. And she goes, oh God, no. And her waters had broken. And she's like, Andy, my water's just broken. He goes, seriously?
Yep.
You know, because they've done it before. And so they, you know, they do all the things, they get to the hospital, and the doctor so there were several doctors at the practice that she was going to for her OBGYN. And the doctor that she liked was due to come in the next morning at 9. And the doctor that she didn't like was on that night. And Jenny was like, I'm not having this baby with you. And Andy's like, I don't really think you get a choice. And Jennifer was like, watch me. And sure enough, that doctor came on. She's like, well, it looks like you arrived a little early. And Jenny's like, yeah, I'm ready to be done now. And they're like, oh, do you think you're ready to push? She's like, I don't know, but we need to get to the ready to push because I'm ready to be done. I want my egg McMuffin right now. That's the thing she wanted when she was done. And so the doctor was like, oh, okay. And then like noon, there was Teddy. Like,
yep. For Katie.
Like, because the first one was so good. She's like, they missed Lindsay. Yep. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't push that long with Alora. And then with Caden, I was just laying in bed and I was talking to my grandma, John's grandma, my mom, and the nurse. And John had went to go get some food. We're just talking. And I go, you know what? I think I need to push. And the nurse was like, oh, okay, let me feel. And she put her hand in and she goes, well, give a little gentle push. She's like, stop! 3 pushes. Caden was out. Like he was like a little butterball turkey. I was like, sweet. It was awesome though. It was great.
So I mean, I've never had children, but I can tell you, had I ever had children, there would for sure have been drugs involved. Lots of drugs.
Yeah.
I would have been like, it's fine. Knock me out. Wake me up. It's over.
Yeah. It's wild. You know, all of a sudden you're just responsible for this thing, you know, like it's wild. It's really wild.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so
hey, it is 10 o'clock.
Oh, geez.
We've been here quite a while. And I still have to finish writing up the stuff for tomorrow so that Robin can do her thing.
Oh, I have to do an absurd amount of math.
Yeah. Oh, I can't do that this night, but I just got to write instructions.
It's like a whole process. It's fine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. I love that everybody in here is telling their story. I'm going to go back and I'm going to read all of these because I love reading everybody's story. It's really great.
The idea of having a C-section on nitrous sounds like someone should.
I couldn't even imagine.
You are a superhuman. You're superhuman.
Yeah. You guys are amazing. So many of you have been hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for the Marley and Lindsay nights. We will be back tomorrow. I don't know if noon will work. I don't know how long this appointment's going to be. Okay. Is noon good for you, or like noon your time? Maybe we try for 1 o'clock.
Noon my time's fine.
Okay, so 1 o'clock Eastern. I'd have to be back by then.
What time's your appointment? 10?
It's it's at 9:15. You have no idea if they're going to be on time. It's an hour away. I just don't know. I don't know. So I'd rather just be certain.
That's fine. So noon my time, 1 your time.
1 o'clock. Yeah. So 1 o'clock tomorrow.
That's fine.
Yeah. Any other questions? Did we miss anything? I don't think we did.
I mean, let's talk about what we did.
We have been across the board. It has been.
This is definitely not safe for work. You should probably add that to the description.
Oh, I will do that. Hold on.
Do not listen to this in the vicinity of small ears or your boss.
Not suitable for work. NSFW. And I'll put a star next to that. So that way people know.
Lonnie, the ELB sale is large Z-tops with 30% off with the code ZTOP because I'm very creative today.
All right. I added that to the title on
Okay.
YouTube. So that should be good. I mean, within the first 5 minutes, we're talking about dicks and balls. So you'd think that there's.
I mean, I feel like they catch pretty fast, but you don't want someone to like put it on thinking like, oh, well, listen to this.
Oh, we're good. Yeah. Oh, it's just a crochet show. No, it's not. We didn't even, I don't think we even talked about hardly anything. Anyways, I had fun. I like talking to you. Like, this is like the best, is being able to chit chat with you and, you know, just talk about life. So it's great. Yes, Sandy, John is amazing and a real keeper for sure. He's out of this world. I can't even express to you guys how great he is. He's so great. I bet my friends are going to fight about who gets to marry him next. Guarantee you. I'm not even joking. Not even joking.
He's pretty great.
Anyways. All right. Well, that's it from us, y'all. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. And thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you so much for spreading the word about marleybird.com and aaronlanebags.com. And just, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. So thank you so much for everything. All right. That's it from us, y'all. Talk to you later.